everybody. It is 5:30 p.m. and it is time for happy hour. But the great one is not happy right now because, folks, Greg Biffle has passed away. When I heard that the plane had crashed and that it belonged to GB Enterprises, I knew he was on that plane. And not just the plane, not just him being on the plane, his entire family, his children, his wife, all gone in a blink of an eye. You know? I mean, literally speaking, there won't be a Greg Biffle Jr., no future generations or anything. The family line is gone. I'm like, damn. So, folks, we're going to give a 1 minute moment of silence for not only Greg Biffle, but also Hong Kang, IFBB Pro bodybuilder, passed away of a heart attack. So, let's give a moment of silence for both of those people here. All right, folks. Yeah, I grew up watching Greg Biffle. Awesome driver. Awesome. We're not talking Danica Patrick type. I mean, he was a real driver. On God, too, you know, as Lamar would say. Yeah, I mean, even if the eggs were frozen, his wife passed away. The whole generation's wiped out. It's gone. You know, the wife is she's dead. The kids are dead. That's usually the worst thing there, you know. Oh boy. But as far as other news is concerned, we no longer have the Kennedy Center. We now have the Trump Kennedy Center. What's my opinion on it? Since the great one has never been to the Kennedy Center, he doesn't care. In any event, it is still happy hour. I have, of course, one of my athletic brewing companies, Run Wild IPA. And like I said, this is the best non-alcoholic beer. It will not get you in trouble. It is alcohol free. I'm actually conscious for this sleep. My sleep has been all screwed up for back spasms. Drink you some warm milk if you have trouble sleeping. Thoughts on Adam McCuck being more active on YouTube? Let him be. I mean, he can't stay away from social media. long as he isn't bothering me, I'm perfectly fine with him posting whatever he wishes to post. Yes, it is there, Mintnator. But that's our president. And you know what? We got 3 years left to go. Got more fun. Like I said, folks, my business is burning. $19,000 in debt. Boy, I'm going to be writing off a lot on taxes. My write-off will be so big, it's literally going to pay all my remaining back taxes. Literally. And then leave me cash on top of that. I have never been burned like this in life. So I made a little over $20,000 from the gold going up. And it'll probably go up even more. I have a couple of donations in, but I got to use those to pay braces. Overall, between YouTube revenue and everything, I'm pretty much breaking even, plus maybe $2,000. But of course, again, that's for getting the braces, which I got to pay for next year. It's not a big, beautiful write-off, Mintnator, because I would rather not have any debt like I normally do than having to deal with this here. You don't get what's equal to the write-off itself. And I know Trump mentioned $2,000. That won't even pay but maybe 4 months of the interest that has been accrued. I don't know, folks. I don't know. YouTube doesn't pay like it used to, folks. It really doesn't. I used to make a whole lot more with YouTube. I mean, I would bring in $400 or $500 a month. And that's when I had less than 2,000 subscribers. But they literally don't. And I make more videos now than I used to. I used to make maybe one video a week. They just don't pay shit anymore. Cuban unblocked. Of course he did. I don't know why he keeps going crazy for. But in any event, folks, get your questions in. If you wish to make a donation, you can. Smash the like button. And believe me, feel free to make a donation. Because I also had to, on top of that, this month, had to pay for my stepdaddy's, and you see, regardless as to how broke I am, you always got to take care of family, folks. Family is more important than anything. So I paid to get his license back. Paid off all of his fines and stuff. That just adds to the substantial debt that I have. But at the end of the day, folks, family is all that counts. You ain't got nothing else. It's not replaceable. Okay? But he was able to, he went down to Texas and drove and everything, so yeah. They used to call me Jay Jizzy. Why are you paying for some irresponsible boomer? It's my stepdad, you idiot. What are you talking about? That's family. He's not a boomer. Folks, let me put something to you this way. He's not a boomer. He's silent generation. You see, folks, if you were born before 1946, you're not a baby boomer. your silent generation. So I bailed out someone from the silent generation. You understand where I'm coming from? Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. But yeah, he's from the silent generation, actually. That's how old he is. He's... And still drives well. Like I said, his father, he lived to be 103. So he's still got all of his faculties. Although he hasn't called in 2 days, so hopefully nothing's happened to him or anything. So, I was out there texting moms, if anything, here, so. Oh boy. But hang tight, folks. I'm gonna check and see on this here. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. I had to call. Apparently, here's the thing, folks. When someone is from the silent generation, they may not be able to work their phone exactly all correct. He had actually turned off his ringer. By the way, what made you think my parents are baby boomers? You do realize I'm Gen X. Gen X means that my parents were either were baby boomers if they were really young, or from the silent generation. My parents are from the silent generation. Nah, I mean, folks, literally speaking, I collect Social Security in like 13 years. In 13 years, I will be eligible for Social Security. Only live streamer ever to do the Big Lenny Challenge live. Indeed. Well, KCB, if that was the case, YouTube would delete my channel out. You're not allowed to actually you do realize you're not allowed to do drugs you're not allowed to make videos of you doing drugs, okay? It just doesn't fly. I mean, I'm sure someone's done that before. I mean, believe me, I'm more than sure that someone's done that before. But I'm not gonna be. I've never touched a rock. I mean, the stuff that I used was pure Nicaraguan cocaine. All right, that's the most I've ever done, and this was in the '90s, where you didn't have to worry about whether it was mixed with fentanyl or cornflakes or something like that. Do you know that some of the coke around in this country is mixed with freaking cornflakes, rice filler, and stuff? It's almost like they're taking cues from the supplement company, supplement industry. Yeah, they don't make drugs like they used to, so I definitely wouldn't use anything. I would never use. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would never use drugs in this generation. Look at all the celebrities that have died from fentanyl overdoses. Literally, it's just crazy. I don't need that type of stress in my life. I'll tell you that right now. Have I ever tried? No. The only drugs I've ever tried is marijuana, cocaine, well, that and GHB. And ecstasy. Yeah, I forgot about ecstasy. And Special K, actually. The cereal. And the drug. So, what does that tally up? I thought... So marijuana, cocaine, ecstasy, GHB, Special K. I think that covers everything I've ever taken. And GHB.
Clavicular get tapped out by Santa Cruz Medicinals.
Matt with a $3 donation. Let's check it out. We'll talk about my extensive drug use at another time.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Ooh. What belt are you? I'm a blue belt.
Yeah, going up against someone in a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, not a good look. Not a good idea, but you got to admire the man's spunk, you know. But again, I definitely appreciate the donation. I don't keep drugs in my house, KCB. All that stuff I did back in the 90s, okay? We're talking over a quarter of a century ago, all right? And believe me, time has passed, okay? But again, folks, never call my parents boomers, okay? They're past they were born long before boomers. We're gonna skip over that song. Don't feel like doing the Trump dance right now. Nope, not at all. I think that given the situation of things, we're gonna let the Trump dance marinate for a little bit. I didn't like Special K. It wasn't. I like the cereal, but just it wasn't. It really do anything. I don't even think the drug is around anymore. But folks, I am getting a new watch. You see, folks, here's the thing. I need a new beater watch. And then I realized one very important thing. The one watch that I used to have and keep all along. So, there we go. That's a new watch I'm getting. And folks, if you do not own this watch, you should. It is iconic. Okay? It's simple, it's sleek, it gets the job done like Big Daddy Kane. The Casio F91W. The most popular watch ever. Over 5 million of those damn things are sold every single year. Oh God. Well, the thing is, KCB, I already have a Movano. I have my Orient Bambino, but I still need a beater watch. Now, I like my blue watch, but I'm about to change the strap on it and make it a dress watch. So, we're going into a different direction. Now, I understand people refer to it as a terrorist watch and everything, but I don't think so. The word terrorist is it's not a very nice thing to say. Lamar's a bad influence on my grammar. No, he isn't. Now, I'm probably going to get that one, either that or a Duro. I would have sent you a Seiko stainless digital. I already own an Orient watch there, KCB. You may not know this, but Orient is the sister company to Seiko. They're made in the same facilities. Okay? They're made in the same facilities. There's really no difference between an Orient and a Seiko watch. They use the same movements here as well. But, you know, the thing about it is, if you don't own a watch, you should. Okay? Because here's the thing, folks. It's not a matter of just telling time, well, it is. Because, you know, whenever you need the time, you don't need to want to pull out your phone and stuff. It's really more about presence, okay? It is a known fact that people that wear watches are more tidy and they come to work on time. They're more poignant. What's up, Ryan? I'm gonna fire you, man. I'm just joking. Up here being late. You good, dog? We are just chilling today. We do got some updates from old Frankie boy Tefano. But not in a good way. couple of creepy posts. I mean, very, very, very creepy. But let's go ahead and get them over with.
Initially with nose job number 1, I thought I was happy, but a few months after
seeing how absolutely stunning this girl was before any surgery got me thinking about the differences between why men and women get
How much you want to bet that he's going to bring up Dr. Taban?
surgery? And almost all of these girls have a boyfriend, partner, plenty of male attention. Guys, on the other hand, they get surgery because they can't get girls. They're trying to
I mean, I can get girls if I wanted girls, and I can get guys. It has nothing to do with looks, Stefano. It has to deal with personality. Even the way I look today with the gray around me, I could still get some cheeks. All right?
attract more women by making themselves more attractive. And I think these women are just influenced by some type of social media pressure, or like they see a doctor advertisement, or they get this idea in their head that they have to have certain facial features despite being the most beautiful girl in the world. For some reason, they get convinced by some outside source that they still need plastic surgery. And I think most people would agree that this girl was absolutely beautiful before she had any type of work done, and these doctors are criminals for even performing work on her.
Oh, shut up. I mean, like I said before, if women come with money to plastic surgeon will take money. All right? When you go to McDonald's, does the fast food worker think about, well, if this guy is fat, if he eats this burger, he's going to be in more poorer health? No. And when it comes to women, I mean, no matter what the woman looks like there, all they got to do is spread their legs, you know, because they're women. That's the advantage of women. They don't have to play the game that men do. They don't have to pick up lines. You know, women are women. They will get picked up regardless. What size is my wrist? I've never measured my wrist. Only my arms, and right now they're about 20. That's why Dale dates grannies. It's less stress. I just got hit for $132 for a Bulova bracelet. That's not really too bad. What is this next surgery? Hopefully it's stitching up his mouth or something.
I feel bad because most of these girls didn't need a nose job in the first place. They get sucked into
You had a nose job. You already had a nose job.
this idea
What's up, blah?
of the mainstream attractive facial feature. Like, oh, I have to have this upturned Barbie nose, or this pointy round chin, or just things that don't fit into their face at all and aren't necessarily the most attractive features. It's just honestly, it's really probably just some BS marketing scheme by these plastic surgeons to get you to get plastic surgery. They put this idea in your head, and you can see the comments here. I can't blame her for being like that. If I got a botched nose job, I'd also try to convince myself that it's actually not botched. The truth is, her surgeon and her doctor are gaslighting her and lying to her and convincing her that she's not botched, so they don't suffer any repercussions and get exposed for their shoddy work.
Yeah, that honker does look pretty bad. But you know what? She could still get some ping tang.
I feel bad because
I mean, it doesn't matter what her nose looked like. She could still get some. In fact, they'll probably ain't. I mean, just consider it as another bonus hole or something. I mean, I'm serious. Guys are freak like that. They'll look at that nose and like, hey, 2 bonus holes there I can use.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, ladies, y'all not gonna want to hear this. I know my body.
I'm kind of glad more women are speaking out about this, because
Women, not woman.
for some reason, a lot of women really don't like listening to men, even
Women! You got a picture of a dictionary right here. You're saying woman. It's women.
Even when they're trying to help them, this mind, body, mind choice stuff, a lot of these movements are getting women harmed. And it's at the point where a lot of people will just sit back, leave them to their own devices, let them harm themselves, and learn the hard way. And I knew a few people on social media, and I saw them like posting stories and stuff and things about how, oh, I'm looking forward to getting my BBL, my rhinoplasty, da da da. I have personally messaged people in the past, say, hey, trying to be nice. You really don't need this surgery. You're beautiful. Maybe you can get this surgery. I was being objective. I was saying, hey, look, maybe your nose is a little big, or maybe you could use a forehead reduction, but you definitely don't need this. I was trying to help these people. They didn't listen to me.
Well, that's pretty much kind of condescending. You're telling them you don't need this, but you need surgery here. I mean, of course they're not going to listen to you.
They thought I was like mansplaining and I'm stupid, and they were so close-minded and wrapped up in the surgery and thought it was going to make them happier. And every single one of those people were very upset and regretted the surgery. And did they learn their lesson the hard way? I don't know, but it's really wild to me.
41 for the crystal and 30. That's not bad there, KCB. You have to understand, when you repair a watch, it's overall, what is the value of the watch itself once everything's fixed and repaired? That's the question you got to ask.
How people can get so sucked into the idea of a surgery without having an objective evaluation of their face. And this looks maxing thing hasn't really helped, because the women just think it's mansplaining. And I keep repeating myself, but a lot of women are so close-minded, and they really don't like listening to men. And in the case of these surgeries and not listening to people, it literally bites them in the ass, especially with the BBL. So hopefully the word spreads, especially about these more proper procedures. I've seen, just to name a few off the top of my head, I've seen a lot of women get rhinoplasties and nose jobs that they didn't need. I've seen some women getting jaw surgeries, their jaw shaved down when they clearly didn't need it. Just a lot of filler. A lot of filler in the cheeks and jaw and different parts of their face. Really.
This is a guy giving advice on cosmetic surgery when he has been complaining for the last 2 years about the cosmetic surgery that he got. He's like Pete Burns there.
Ruining these girls that did not need filler at all. This idea of like what some plastic surgeons are trying to portray as attractive, like the pointy chin, the bloated cheeks, the lips, like the cat eyes, just these surgeries that don't actually make you look better, that women get sucked into, and it ends up for the worst in a lot of cases, and they won't listen to anyone. So maybe someone can get through to them.
Oh, it definitely won't be you, Goofy. But folks, get your questions in. I mean, your watch is worth $2,000, and $41 for a crystal and $33 for gaskets. That's nothing. That's nothing in the scheme of things. It really isn't. I mean, I actually have a couple of watch videos. So I'll show you a couple of my watch videos. Yeah, we could do that. I mean, there's one that I made 5 years ago. What's going on, everybody? Vince Goodrum here. It is Saturday afternoon. Just sitting around. Vic, the watches are really not that big. They're between 38 and 45 millimeters. And it's the same with this one. This one here, model number 32177. This is an Invicta Object d'Art Ghost Automatic. It is rose gold. Has a genuine calf leather strap. Flame fusion crystal. If you guys are not familiar with it, Invicta popularized the flame fusion. It's a much harder crystal than other ones. It's a economical and it's very scratch resistant. I actually like it. I mean, it's some people will moan and groan about it, but it's all about durability, and the flame fusion is a very durable crystal. This watch is a 39 millimeter watch, and this is the type of watch I would actually, I generally wear for the most part. And let me just get a little bit closer. And this is a ghost automatic, and part of the ghost meaning that you can actually see all the movements, all the working parts and everything. Now, the type of movement this is a 7500 automatic. This watch is made in China, and the movement is also Chinese. It is made by the Hunzu Corporation in China. It is owned by the government of China. And back in the late 70s, they were a very... if I redid the video, I would say China! Premier maker of movements, and they still are. So just because something comes from China does not mean that it's a piece of... Alright, so that's one watch. Let me see. Check the others. I don't wear the S1 Rally anymore. In fact, I don't even know where... What's going on, everybody? Yes, people, I do know my movements for watches, including this one. I think I got rid of this particular watch here. I'm not for sure. I mean, my most expensive watch is now my Movano, but I do own the... What's going on? Strap. But nothing is going to look cool like a watch like this here. When you're going out to the club or you're going out and you want to impress some people, this is the watch that would actually get the job done. So I'm about to go and turn this over and show you guys the automatic movement. All right, guys, and this here is... That's another one. I've not worn that watch in about 3 years. It's still in one of my boxes. It's just that I don't wear big watches anymore. I've somehow moved past that, in other words. Let me show you one more, and then we're going to get back to... It's not like watching some classic Vince Goodrum stuff there. I will tell you that right now. Good old classic Vince Goodrum videos. Stuff I've not even clicked on in quite some time. This is 28 millimeters, same as the other watch. It has a push crown. Again, just the same as before. It's also stainless steel. Out of this bracelet. It's very difficult to do. I had it done at the Jewelry Box down in Greenville, South Carolina. So if you're in Greenville and you need to have some work done on your... I mean, I keep them in the box there. I don't wear them anymore. Simply due to the fact that, like I said, you have to understand these videos are like from 6 years ago. The style has changed, basically. Back then it was big watches, Now it's little watches. We've gone back to what we're doing. Although some people like Sean Ray, they're still wearing those watches. And that's perfectly fine. But you know, the big watches were a fad basically for me. They were just it was just for the most part, a fad. It was a style whenever I was going out to wear a big watch. And that fad is now over, folks. So the watches I wear are smaller. I got a couple of other ones. I mean, you guys know what a Movano museum looks like, right? I mean, I don't have to show a picture of one because they're all, I mean, it's just literally a basic watch, in other words. Movado Museum, it's just all black. But whenever I got my job at Verizon, the first thing I bought was a Movado Museum. $179. But folks, get your questions in. If y'all want me to watch a video, put a donation in. We'll check it out. Much like Matt did, and again, definitely appreciate the donation. You know, Lamar, I'm gonna make you some actual YouTube thumbnails. I gotta make you some YouTube thumbnails. You got. I'm gonna do you a solid. Yeah, we need to make you some thumbnails for your channel. But don't worry, bruh. I got you. Well, I'm gonna do that. Or the big beautiful AI is gonna do it. Centra AI, the big beautiful AI is gonna get that taken care of. I did try one time, Quick Hump, to dip tobacco, and I didn't like it. I did use snus for a very short time. It's a little pack that you put in the side, but I didn't like that neither. I prefer a cigar, hands down. Yeah, we'll mix a little purple in that there, Lamar. But I got you on that. I'm a hook up because Lamar's my man, and folks, you gotta go and support his channel. But Lamar's alright in my book. Y'all give a shout out for Lamar, alright? That's an okay dude, alright? That's my nigga right there, Lamar. I'm proud to say that's my nigga. I know. Yeah, I think all of us has been working pretty hard. It's just been one of those years. I want to see if I'm going to get a payout from Google this month. Because I could definitely use that. Let's see if we get a payout this month. And no. See, YouTube used to pay out, but like I said, right now my balance from YouTube is $91.38. And that's a course of 2 months, in other words. I'm getting about $50 a month out of YouTube. And this is strictly for views, in other words. Why are Lamar so afraid to box Vegan Gains? Iceman, how is he gonna box Vegan Gains? Vegan Gains is in Canada. Lamar is not gonna go fly to Canada just for a somewhat opportunity to fight Vegan Gains. Just because you fly somewhere don't mean there's gonna be a fight. And look how big Lamar is. Well, I guess Vegan Gains is a lot bigger than he used to, but Lamar would kill him. Lamar has alpha credentials, alright? He served in the military. The only thing Vegan Gains has done is hit his head on a ceiling, in other words. And he played hockey. But Lamar's ex-military and he played college football. Those are alpha credentials, alright? And when you have alpha credentials, you got business, alright? Do you have experience using Facebook to make money? Absolutely. I still run Facebook ads here, so yeah. You got to. It could make a big exposure for him. It could make Lamar very big on YouTube. It would help him. I would agree with that, actually. Yeah. No, it doesn't. It just... I don't know if they were... I don't know if he was I mean... This is Jasmine we're talking about. And I hope my cousin is not simping and still paying her bills. Hopefully she's actually gotten a decent job and is actually working. I mean, it's true. I mean, he literally paid for her apartment for what, 2 or 3 months? Why? I mean, Jasmine, she can go back to Hogwarts to live. It doesn't cost money for to live in Hogwarts. Alright? She could have went and lived with one of the Weaslings here. Seriously. Harry Potter doesn't need to get her rent paid. I forgot she was binary. Alright? That means my cousin was fucking a dude, possibly. Or someone that thought that they were a dude. Binary can sometimes be very confusing to the great one, even as a homosexual. So there are some things, folks, that I do not understand. I do not understand binary. Alright? Because I was always taught, you either have a taco or a hot dog. I've never seen anyone with both a taco and a hot dog. Alright? Period. Non-negotiable. Some things just don't make sense to me, okay? Even when I see cartoons with gay characters in it, it still makes me cringe. And I actually like the fact that they're in there. You know, kids cannot grow up and they can be, they actually know who they're gonna encounter in life, but it still makes me cringe because I didn't grow up with cartoons like that, you know? But on the other hand, kids would cringe at the cartoons that I used to grow up with. The old Ted Turner ones with Looney Tunes that did the blackface, wore Confederate flags, smoked, got blown up with dynamite and stuff. Can't play that stuff no more. I don't think it's a pussification of society. I think it's a refutation of society. Overall, I think we are more informed, but people are a lot more gullible these days. They see something on Facebook and automatically believe it. And now we got AI generated videos to where people will literally believe anything, and that stuff looks so real. They actually believed it happened. That's kind of scary. Me and Ryan was talking about that. And I talked to Palumbo about that at one time, about this AI stuff. It's scary. Well, no raw foods because they're no longer together. Now, if he decides to go and push into those guts again, you never know, they might get back together, you know. Jasmine might wave that magic wand, you know. She did spend 4 years at Hogwarts and cast a spell on him. But in any event, if he did pack or fudge or something like that, then yeah. Undeniable. I mean, if anything, since we're already aware of him sticking a dildo up his bunghole, you know, it begs to remain. I'm like, typical straight people don't do that, you know. I mean, people that do that are people that I have pounded, okay? When a tan is getting ready to take my love stick, my soul pole, they sometimes want to prepare themselves for the cockosaurus by using the dildo in order just to loosen up things. And I'm like, no, baby. The great one likes it nice and tight. Don't worry, I'll spread it out for you. I will loosen you up naturally with my own juices. Grab you by your head. You know, I will grab you on the top of your head like Kevin Von Erich with that iron claw. And just like, ah! that bedboard till it leaves cracks in the wall. Folks, we got, well, 5 minutes left. We'll give it 5 minutes. 5 minutes, get your questions in. Make a donation you can. But I'm going to just keep yammering for the next 5 minutes. We ain't going to play no more videos. We can do that tomorrow on the Midnight Run. The greatest live stream of all time. No one does it better than me. Nobody. Nobody. Honestly, tonight, if you guys are wondering, I'm not touching any cheeks or anything. I'm going to shave the head, get this gray off, get myself a nice shave, have a pizza, have a smoke, watch the football, and I'm going to be alright. Because I can't be anything else but be alright. I got my boy in Bangladesh working on the Vans Medical website, as well as the Moon Mystics. They will be back up soon. You see, despite how much money I spent this year, I did invest in some positive assets. What can you do? What's a good cheap vodka? Me personally, as far as vodka is concerned, oh boy, I've not had vodka in a while. What was the brand I used to buy? Not Grey Goose. Something crystal or so forth of some type. Hold on. God oh mercy. I'll need to look at my bottle of, let me see. I'll be right back. Oh, never mind. Now I remember. Citadel. So, there's two choices as far as, Citadel made a vodka. Mostly they're about gin. No, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh boy. Give me just a second, folks. No, not Kirkland. Well, only one thing to do. Alright. I'm gonna keep the show open until I show you guys the vodka I had. Hang tight. So I'm going to scroll down until I find my vodka. And I will show you what I used to drink. I don't have a Costco card quick pump, but I heard that the Kirkland vodka was pretty good. I used to I do know it was an air-filtered vodka. But it should pull up soon. Nope, nope. That's the hard thing about not remembering things. I should start from highest to lowest. That will be a little bit quicker. And it should pop up pretty quickly. Because back in the day, I drunk a rather expensive vodka. Well, I wouldn't, you know, in opposed to other ones. As opposed to other ones. That is quite odd. It's not here. Oh boy. Oh, that was the problem. I had it on for North Carolina. And spirits are different between North Carolina and South Carolina. But it is, I guess it's no longer sold. It's not here. It's not here, folks. The vodka that I used to drink is not here. It's not anywhere. It's gone. Jeez. They don't sell it anymore. This is nuts. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I found it. There we go. Ah, here we go, folks. There's the vodka. Airmore vodka. That's the vodka. Hold on, let me see if I can get a bigger picture. That's the vodka I used to drink. Basically, Airmore is a cloud source vodka. Basically, the way it's pulled, it uses water pulled straight from the Hilton Head Island's mist, in other words, with an atmospheric water generator. And it is very light, very super crisp, very light. I wonder why this didn't pop up. I guess they no longer sell it in this particular store or something. I'm not for sure. But that, folks, is the vodka that I drink. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's being sold anymore. It was made by the Hilton Head Distillery. But, you know, Hilton Head Distillery has replaced a lot of stuff. I mean, folks, I still have to say the alcohol that I get back in the day was from the Hilton Head Distillery. That's how I stocked my dry bar, with only Hilton Head products. So nowadays they carry the Hilton Head vodka instead of Airmore. It's a relatively nice bottle, Quick Pump, but it was crisp. I mean, crisp. But folks, that is the end of the show. Now that you've seen what I used to drink, we're gonna jet out. I do want to thank Matty Matt for donating. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. Tune in tomorrow for the midnight run. And as always, peace and soul.